So my oldest daughter, she is almost 20 now, was actually damaged the day she was born with the hepatitis B vaccine. She was born perfectly healthy, normal time, normal birth weight, and then with her hepatitis B vaccine, she just started screaming, and she never stopped screaming. She was just constantly crying and tantruming and very colicky, very unhealthy, just always sick. And so, at 2 months, she got her next round of shots, and then she just was always sick, always screaming. Would spike really high fevers, and she just stopped growing. She stopped eating, she stopped sleeping, she had insomnia all the time. And then as soon as she would start to get better, we'd hit the next 2-month cycle of 4-month shots, 6-month shots. The only time I saw her start to get a little bit better was right before her 9-month shots, and then her 9-month shots just really damaged her again. But she had so many ear infections, and of course all those antibiotics, synergistically reacting with the vaccines, she was just very unhealthy. We had to put tubes in her ears at 9 months because she just was not thriving at all. And she started to get a little bit better after that, and then of course we hit the year mark and just kind of continued to, have that period where she would start to get better and then get sick again. She started to develop language right about 14, 15 months and was starting to do a little bit better, and of course then had her MMR right about 16, 17 months, and then she went into complete regressive autism. She lost all of her language, she spiraled into self-injurious behavior, just stopped sleeping, stopped eating, and she was headbanging at that point, so we had to put her in a helmet. It was just very, very difficult, very trying on our family. My husband was going to go to medical school. We just decided, no, we can't do it. We need money to help her right now. And so we took her in and had her diagnosed with autism at about 20 months, and our lives completely changed at that point, and our entire life now has just been recovery for her. And then in the meantime, I had my second child who was born and I started noticing the same vaccine damage type symptoms. And I went to a conference and realized I think vaccines are the cause. And so I stopped vaccinating my son at 11 months, and I started to see him thrive. And it was miraculous, the difference. And so he never received his MMR, although he had already sustained 9 months or 11 months of vaccine damage, but he never received his MMR. And then quite a few years later, I gave him the separated vaccines, the measles, the mumps, the rubella, and he has done so much better. And my daughter, not as sick, a lot healthier, and just academically, mentally, socially has done better. So.
Is there something you want to tell other parents?
I think, when my daughter was young, I just trusted the doctors, even though my gut was screaming at me that this is not right. And the point where they finally said, she's so sick, we have to put her on a maintenance dose of antibiotics for 3 to 6 months. And at that point, I just said, no, absolutely not. I just would rather put tubes in her ears and call it good. And my doctor came to me and said, really, you want to put your daughter in surgery at such a young age? And I said, yeah, if that's going to make her better and remove all the antibiotics, then yes, I would. And so I just didn't trust my gut when my gut was telling me, it was screaming at me to just stop. And I finally listened with my second child and made some different choices. And my kids have been much healthier, and I have put my last 2 children on a vaccine delayed schedule. Because again, I don't think all vaccines are bad, but they certainly need to be made healthier. And I want to put them on the schedule I think is best for my kids and works better for them. So just learn to trust my gut and take charge of my kids' health, finally.
Right. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you. I know it's not easy.